The reality of pain in love. Love is not always soft. Sometimes it arrives quietly, without explanation. Sometimes it breaks you open, slowly, piece by piece. And yet, even inside that pain, something remains. A quiet loyalty of the heart that whispers, "I still care, even if it hurts." We often grow up believing that love should always feel good. That real love means harmony, closeness, and constant happiness. But human emotions are rarely that simple. Pain and love often coexist, not because love has failed, but because love runs deep enough to touch the most vulnerable layers of who we are. When love reaches that depth, it doesn't just comfort us, it exposes us. And exposure is never painless. The psychology of loving through pain. From a psychological perspective, deep love activates far more than joy. When we attach to someone, the brain engages systems linked to attachment, anxiety, memory, and empathy. This is what makes love both healing and destabilizing at the same time. The same bond that soothes us can also shake us to our core. When the person we love causes pain through distance, conflict, silence, or misunderstanding, the brain reacts as if something essential has been taken away. Neuroscientifically, it resembles withdrawal. The same patterns seen in grief and even addiction begin to appear. That's why, even after a breakup, the mind doesn't simply move on. You still dream about them. You still wonder what they're doing. You still replay conversations, searching for meaning. Your mind isn't weak. It's trying to solve an emotional paradox. How can I still care for someone who hurt me? Neuroscientists refer to this as paradoxical bonding. In certain emotional conditions, pain doesn't weaken attachment. It intensifies it. This is why people say, "I hate that I still love them." But that love isn't a flaw. It's evidence that your nervous system remembers something deeply significant. Moments of safety, shared laughter, a vulnerability that once felt like home. Even if they left, that doesn't mean they stopped feeling. They might not say it, but they still think of you in quiet moments, when familiar songs play, or when places you once shared appear in their daily routine. Some nights, they scroll through old photos, remembering how your voice used to sound when you laughed. They've tried to distract themselves to move on, but the heart doesn't follow logic. It always circles back to where it felt understood. They may act indifferent now, but deep down, they know they cannot replace you. Not because they haven't met other people, but because what you gave them wasn't ordinary. It was rare, irreplaceable, and real. At some point, when the noise fades and solitude sets in, they will remember the warmth, the gentleness, the safety they once took for granted. And in that quiet moment of realization, they'll wish they had held on tighter. Because love like yours leaves an imprint the soul cannot unlearn. Philosophical dimensions. The nature of true love. From a philosophical lens, love that survives pain carries a rare authenticity. It is no longer driven by pleasure or fulfillment alone. It becomes an act of will, a conscious choice made with awareness. Søren Kierkegaard once wrote, "To love is to risk being misunderstood." True love does not promise certainty. It asks us not only to feel, but to remain present in feeling, even when outcomes are unclear. In Plato's Symposium, love is described as a longing for wholeness, a desire to reunite with something we sense we've lost. To love despite pain is to accept imperfection in the other person and in ourselves. It is to acknowledge that intimacy includes suffering, because to truly see another human being means seeing both their light and their shadow. Modern psychology echoes this idea. A healthy relationship is not defined by the absence of hurt, but by how pain is held, communicated, and repaired through empathy, accountability, and forgiveness. Real-life example: loving beyond the breaking point. Imagine two people, Emma and Daniel. They've been together for 6 years. They've built a life of shared memories, traveling together, long nights of laughter, standing beside each other through career changes and uncertainty. Lately, things feel different. Arguments surface more often. Small misunderstandings stretch into heavy silences. One night, Daniel says something harsh, something irreversible. Emma walks away in tears, not because she's angry, but because she feels the weight of 6 years trembling in a single moment. Days pass, the distance grows, and yet Emma still catches herself wondering if Daniel ate dinner, if he's sleeping well. Love doesn't shut off on command. It lingers, like an echo that refuses to fade. Psychologists call this empathic residue. Even when logic says let go, the emotional body remembers connection. It remembers being seen. Emma's care is not foolishness. It is humanity. It is the part of us that chooses softness even when the world tells us to harden. And while she's remembering him, there are nights Daniel lies awake, missing her too. The way she listened without judgment. The way she believed in him when he didn't believe in himself. He scrolls through her messages, but can't bring himself to text. Pride holds his hand still, but his heart is already halfway back to her. He will realize it one day, that love like hers doesn't fade. It only waits for courage to return. Why some people still love even when it hurts. There are several psychological reasons people continue to love through pain. Attachment style plays a role. Those with anxious or secure attachment often stay emotionally connected longer, hoping for repair rather than retreat. Memory bias also shapes love. The mind replays positive memories like scenes in movies. It reminds us not only of what once existed, but of what still feels possible. Empathy and moral loyalty matter deeply. Deep love awakens responsibility, the feeling that you cannot simply stop caring for someone you once chose to care for. And there is always hope. Love always carries hope. The belief that something broken may still heal. From a clinical perspective, loving through pain is not unhealthy by nature. It becomes destructive only when love turns into self-erasure. When one person repeatedly sacrifices their well-being to keep the bond alive. When love is held with self-awareness, it becomes a spiritual practice, a mirror reflecting vulnerability and compassion at the same time. Society often labels those who love too long as weak, but psychological depth tells a different story. To continue loving while fully aware of pain requires strength. It requires the courage to hold contradiction without escaping it. In Buddhist philosophy, compassion begins with suffering. Without allowing pain to exist, love cannot mature. Transformation happens through coexistence. When love and pain share the same space, when you love despite wounds, you are not only loving another person, you are learning to honor the vastness of your own heart. Still, love has boundaries. When love becomes entangled with self-denial, when you silence your needs, minimize your feelings, or remain in harm, love stops being love and turns into fear. Fear of losing belonging, fear of loneliness, fear that without them, you will lose who you are. In therapy, this state is often described as trauma bonding, a condition where emotional intensity replaces emotional safety. The essential question becomes simple yet profound. Can you love someone and still love yourself? Can you care without collapsing? If the answer is yes, your love is grounded. If the answer is no, love must be rebuilt from within. Healing does not require erasing love. It requires transforming it. Some love stories are not meant to last. They are meant to shape you. Over time, love integrates into who you are, into your patience, your gentleness, your understanding of pain. One day, looking back, you will realize that even the love that broke your heart expanded your capacity to love more deeply later. This is emotional alchemy. Pain becoming wisdom. You do not need to stop loving in order to move on. You only need to love differently, without attachment, without expectation, with quiet gratitude. When someone says, "Even if it hurts, I still love you," understand this is not weakness. It is depth made visible, love without possession, love that chooses presence without reward. A love that survives pain is not naive. It is sacred. To truly love is to see flaws, feel wounds, and still remain open, even if it hurts, especially if it hurts, because pain reminds us that we were alive enough to care. Now, let us close this video with a manifestation meditation, a moment to align, to soften, and to allow what is already meant for you to gently meet you where you are. Rise in awareness, align your vibration, and match the frequency of your blessings. That is the true meaning of manifestation. Life does not bend to force. The universe operates in perfect harmony. Do not cling to outcomes. Do not rush the process. Instead, nurture what you can influence, your consciousness, the thoughts you allow, the words you speak, and the emotions you carry. They shape your reality more than any external circumstance ever could. The higher your consciousness rises, the closer you come to the reality that already belongs to you. Spiritual elevation is not escape. It is alignment. It is becoming one with the frequency of the life you desire. The dream you seek already exists. In a higher dimension of possibility, you are not chasing it. You are simply rising to meet it. The more you elevate spiritually, the closer you become to the reality that is already yours. As your soul expands, your outer world begins to rearrange itself to reflect that light. This is not about forcing reality. It is about becoming the reality. So trust the divine order of things. The timing you doubt is the timing that protects you. Every blessing arrives at the exact moment you are ready to hold it. The universe does not rush, and neither should you. In the stillness, everything begins to align. Your soul already knows this truth. What is meant for me is already mine. No one can take away what belongs to your spirit. Your blessings were written into your story from the very beginning, waiting for the perfect intersection of time, growth, and divine readiness. For now, just breathe. Inhale deeply and tell yourself, I am becoming ready. Exhale slowly and whisper. Everything unfolds in perfect divine timing. Even in silence, your energy is shifting. Even in rest, your soul is preparing the space for your blessings to arrive. When obsession turns into devotion, not desperation, the universe begins to move quietly in your favor. The Creator delivers everything that was promised, exactly when your heart is strong enough to receive it. So trust this moment. You are already merging with the life you were always meant to live. Your mission, your love, your opportunities, your divine timeline, they are all finding their way toward you. What belongs to me is already mine. Repeat it softly to yourself. What belongs to me is already mine. No one can take it away. Breathe and believe, because you are already aligned with everything meant for your soul. And believe, God has a big plan for you. If you want more heart-healing truths based on psychology and inner awareness, hit that subscribe button and let us keep stepping forward into a life that is truly aligned with you. If you like the video, hit the likes and subscribe. I would appreciate that. God bless you